we have two special guests, Amanda Slade and Ame Linden Adams. I'm so sorry I butchered your name, but join the crowd. I do this to all of my best guests. It's Ame Linden Adams. Thank you both for so much for joining me today. You'll have to forgive me, everybody. I am a little bit nervous today because this lady, Amanda, wrong direction. There we go. Amanda has been one of my mentors for, 20-some years now?
Yes, I know. It's been a long time. 2002.
And we look just as beautiful as we did then.
Yeah.
2000 what?
Right.
2000 what was when we met?
2002 is when we met.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, 18 years. Amazing.
In
All
Detroit.
Right. Yes, in Detroit. So a little bit of housekeeping. As you all know, if you're watching on Facebook, please give us some likes, give us some hearts. Let us know that you're here. Make a comment or two if you'd like. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We are growing so fast, and I would really love to have you along for the ride. So let's take a couple of quick minutes, and let me actually begin with Ame. Can you give us a little bit of who you are and what you do, please?
Thank you. I'd be delighted. So I am a consciousness leader in our community. I have been on this path and working with 20 ascended master guides who have the great good fortune to share purpose and destiny with. And they actually show up literally through my words and through the energy coming out of my hands. And so I've had a metaphysical healing business for, I would say, over 30 years, serving the community and really teaching people who they really are versus who they've been told they are. And that we feel is one of the core wounds of humanity that has caused so much suffering and struggle on the planet. In my great good fortune, I ended one business recently after more than a decade and immediately found I had a divine appointment show up. And there it was sitting in my calendar, and it was with the fabulous Amanda Slade. And it turns out that we had actually been together over many past lives, but in a very specific past life in Atlantis. And we realized we had some unfinished business that we needed to do this lifetime.
Awesome. So, well, thank you so much for joining us today. And I want to hear that story, but I want to give Amanda a minute to introduce herself first. Go ahead, Amanda.
So I'm Amanda Slade of Co-Create Your Success. And I work with individuals, mostly women, some men, but it's really about helping them find their soul-aligned possibilities and solutions, whether it's for themselves personally or professionally. And really the work is about elevating them into a whole new energy field so that they can be who they truly are. This is where the piece that Ame and I have in common is very much helping people discover that essence of themselves, that soul's essence, and then be able to express that. And I'm the developer of the Diamond Co-Creative System, which is a system that really helps to heal and transform, create and manifest, and also expand and evolve a person into their more through the technology, the techniques, and tools through it.
Phenomenal stuff. I love that you're still going strong. I love that you have this new alliance. This feels really good for me. It
yes.
really does. Awesome stuff. I do want to bring up a short blast from the past before we get into the new stuff that we're doing. This is what I used to do with Amanda, Life in the Spirit, right? Isn't it? I still have this shirt, and it is so soft and cushy. I love it. So when the weather gets
that was
cold,
my nonprofit that we had, and we had a portal called lifeinthespirit.com. Guess I've been at this for a while, but over 20 years.
You might have a little smidge of experience. I'm not sure. So I know that you guys have this webinar series that's coming up this Saturday. In fact, I think it launches.
Yes,
And
Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time.
awesome. It's called Beyond Trauma Life's Freedom, correct?
Beyond Trauma Lies Freedom.
Lies Freedom, okay.
Release and Heal PTSD.
Excellent. Now, which one of you would like to give me the 30-second elevator pitch about this series that's coming up?
I'll let May do that.
Look how we both do. You know, this is a most incredible time on earth. I don't have to tell any of your viewers that. We're all reeling left and right. We believe that we're in what are called the chaos years. And the chaos years are going to go on for actually probably another 4 more years before we start to emerge on the other side in a higher frequency on Earth. During these chaos years, we're being tested so many times and in so many ways. And many of us, light workers, already have experienced lots of emotional traumas along our lifespan this time so far. And every time we get re-traumatized, if we haven't cleared the energetic imprint of trauma in our body, then it gloms on and it makes it even worse. And, you know, in California, of course, on top of COVID, we just have gone through 2 rounds of devastating fires. And, you know, truthfully, fire season is not over yet. And so having been evacuated last year and the year before, fortunately not so far this year, it is a very upsetting and unsettling terrain to be trying to navigate your way through. So this 2-part webinar series is really designed to clear that energetic imprint that most of us carry so that we can fulfill what we came to do, which is what we believe is to be an anchor for the light, which means that you can stay grounded and centered, clear-headed, calm, in the midst of chaos, just like a lighthouse in a port of storm. Beautiful. So to fulfill that purpose that we all signed up for, we need to get this imprint out of our bodies so that we can relax even more deeply into the chaos instead of struggling and fighting against it.
What a phenomenal concept. I like that. Amanda, do you have anything to add?
In addition to that, you know, it's not just the trauma, the recent trauma. It can be childhood trauma, you know, any type of abuse, any type of sexual assault, any type of prejudice. You know, I was just on the Shift Network Global Summit and on the stage for the racial justice. And part of what I spoke about was that if you do not deal energetically with your conditioning, your programming from the trauma as well, then you will always see through veiled glasses and you'll react in that way. So you go into that fight, flight, freeze, or fright mode. And if you go into that, then you cannot be calm, centered, balanced, and really be a contributor in a way to solve the problem, to be the solution. When you already have that within you that is running you, you know, it runs you energetically. So healing it from an energetic perspective does heal it once and for all. In fact, recently when the fire started, I went outside at 5 a.m. to put my dog out and I smelled the fires and I felt my body just go like this. And it was like, whoa, what's that about? And so I went back in and sat with myself, went into meditation. And it was actually the PTSD that I had from the fire in my own home years before. Years and years, like 10 years before, as well as the office fire that I had. And I'd never cleared that out energetically. So I did the protocol using the Diamond Code Creative System to help clear it, that we're going to teach in this webinar series. And I did that. And from then on, I have not had that reaction. Now I'm just in response.
Okay.
And, you know, when you're in response, now you're in your centeredness, your balance.
Excellent. So, anyone then who is either struggling with the chaos that this pandemic is causing,
Yes.
or even if they are having trouble still with something traumatic that happened in the past, whether it's a foundational lifestyle trauma of poverty or racism,
Yep.
or if it is a, I don't want to say one time, but yeah, there's that too. But a one time thing that happens over and over again for a period of time, as well as that one off, my house caught on fire, I lost all my family photos, that's a one time traumatic event. This system can actually address that which filters how we see the world because of those events, so that going forward we can actually stay more in peace of mind during moments of chaos and be a facilitator for something greater than the recycling of chaos. Did I recreate that correctly?
That was beautiful, Gail. and
Awesome.
for those of you that, for those that also believe in past lives, remember that can bleed in too, from trauma, PTSD that you had in another lifetime. That can bleed in, and then you keep on recreating it, because what's happening is you have that vibrating in your system. So then it's attracting that. And until you heal it within your system, your energetic fields in your system, then that will keep on attracting. Once you heal that, then that's gone. And I think I may have something really good to share with that piece.
Yeah, I was so glad you brought it up, because, we really do believe that everything that you came to clear and everything you've added on to clear in this lifetime is sitting in your chakras, and like attracts like. So, we might feel tormented or punished by the fact that, oh my God, here's this situation again. I thought I'd managed to clear it, or I thought I'd gotten rid of it. And no, it's here in my face again. It's not that we're being punished. It's that this time we really came with a very clear intention to clear all of the past, so that we could be fully present and go into a higher vibrational frequency on the planet. So yes, indeed, when you are storing that old energy, you can expect to have it come up again and again for the purpose of reminding you haven't healed it yet. And I think my own experience through this third year of fires was notable, because I have done this clearing. And what happened was, I noticed that when I first heard the news, I noticed that there was nothing going on in my body at all.
No reaction at all.
Nothing at all. And I said to my beloved Victor, who, shares my life with me, wow, the fires are really not that far away, but I have no reaction going on in my physical body. And I think that means we're totally safe. And he said, well, I hope you're right. And it turned out to be right, that my body was just relaxing into the situation. No need to give me any kind of warning, and no need to stir anything up, because there was nothing in my system to stir up this time.
Gotcha.
So it was a very different experience.
That's phenomenal. I'm losing words today, but the situational experience of that. So why is it that clearing is so important? I mean, you and I, both of you and I, this is a very quote unquote obvious question. I mean, these are the things that you think aren't working for you. Do you want them to continue? But on a planetary scale or on a community scale, Why is it so important that each of us as individuals actually do the work that's necessary to clear this out?
You know, it's very much, think about this. We were taught love thy neighbors as thyself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, most people don't know how to love themselves, you know, do not love themselves unconditionally, you know, chastise, criticize, judge themselves. And so when they're doing that, then guess what? You're doing that outside of yourself. So to heal within, to on an energetic level, not, this is not conceptual. This is not about beliefs. It's healing at a visceral feeling body level. When you heal that, now you are not seeing through the veils and you're not reacting through the veils of that energy. And so if you love yourself, then you can love thy neighbor as thyself in a really positive way. And this is what makes the shift in the community. This is what makes the shift globally. If we don't do our own inner work, we cannot be the contributors of the peace of moving into the higher vibrations that are available to us now, which is about love and joy, co-creation, community, collaboration. And this is why we're also seeing the fall down of all the old paradigms within cultures, within governments, within countries, you know, globally. And this has to break down in order for this to come back up. Just like if we do the inner work to break down within ourselves, break down what no longer works, what no longer serves, what no longer we desire, no longer that we like, then when we can do that and address it again energetically, like I read Codependent No More, you know, 25 years ago, and I just cried throughout that whole book because I'm like, I'm a friggin' mess. How am I going to get out of this? And I understood it all conceptually, but until I started doing the energetic healing and realignment work, I did not resolve codependency. Once I started doing that and I worked with the Diamond Co-Creative System, codependency is gone for me. It's done. It's healed once and for all. I don't operate through codependency anymore.
Awesome. Do you have anything to add?
We don't want people to operate through the trauma anymore, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Amay, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes. You know, I think the individual piece, I think we all, you know, even through COVID, I mean, we've recognized we're not living the life we came to live, and we've gotten hugely distracted. And a lot of those distractions, of course, we're now recognizing are in a way deliberate. They are designed to keep us focused not on what is actually possible here. This is, you know, the third time that we, or the fourth time rather, that we have tried to ascend the earth. And 3 times we failed due to interference. And a lot of that interference has been through the field of technology, misuse of technology. But, you know, we have to recognize, or we get to recognize when we really do the work to discover who we truly are, that we aren't alone, that we can't live alone, that we, as building on Amanda's talk about codependency, the other pole is independency, but the actual goal is interdependency, where we recognize that we're all one. There can be no such nonsense as, you know, systemic racism when we recognize that we truly are all one. If you ask me to cut off a whole tribe of people who are my brothers and sisters, it's like asking me to sacrifice an arm and be okay with that. And then we're going to take off another group of people. How about a foot this time? Can you manage without your foot? You know, it's like it's absolutely unconscionable. And yet, in many, many ways, we all drank the Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. So we allowed people who didn't know who they were to tell us who we were and are, and what we can do, what we can say, how to behave, what not to be. And in the end, we get put into a little tiny box. And when you try to break out of that box, everything feels wrong because safety and comfort zones are within the box. You stop looking outside of the box for what could be, and you make your peace with what you feel you can do. All of that is ending now as we end the separation that was a big part of 3D consciousness, or living life in the third dimension, where deliberately we're all told we're separate and kept separate, as opposed to fifth dimensional consciousness that we're moving, hurtling into even as we speak, where we recognize the reverence for all life, for all beings, where we could not be separate from one another, even if we tried. We're all breathing the same air. We're all energetically connected. Right. It's the big lie that is finally literally being revealed. And Amanda and I recognize we have a very core piece of that equation to share with people in terms of solving a problem that many people didn't even know they had. So first you have to bring them into awareness with education and understand what is possible, as opposed to the life that most people are living, which is all you think you deserve.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So there is a factor of hundredth monkey mentality going on, where we have to have enough individuals to actually get the planet itself to shift. Not necessarily every single one of them, but enough to make the living. You ever play that game at slumber parties when you're a little girl, light as a feather, stiff as a board?
No.
You've never heard of it?
No.
So you get like 3 girls on one side of a body and 3 girls on the other side of the body. Could be boys. I only went to ones with girls. And they put 2 fingers under a part of that person that's laying on the floor's body, right? And then you say light as a feather, stiff as a board 3 times, and lift. And those 6 people with 2 fingers each lift the whole body.
Oh.
Right? So it's like that. We need to put our 2 fingers out there and lift humanity.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense to me.
This is part of Gail White. Amay and I feel part of our work is so important to helping heal trauma. We will have a series next year for healing abuse, because if we don't go to these core wounds and heal this, then there won't be change. We have to heal it.
Right. That's absolutely right. Now, let me ask you this. Who is your ideal client, though, when you're not, aside from the webinar series, right? Mm-hmm. When you're actually working one-on-one with a person, who is your ideal client? Let's start with Amay.
Great. I would say, first of all, that the majority of our clients already know they're light workers. They're already on the path. We are not Spirituality 101. There are many, many, many wonderful teachers who you can get started with. We think of ourselves as finishing school. So we're really for people who've done a lot of work and are still confounded why it's just not coming together, when they know with every fiber of their being it should, and yet for some reason there's something they're not getting. Mm-hmm. And we feel very, very confident that with our Ascended Master Guides and with the Diamond Co-Creative System, we are going to be able to pinpoint what that wound is and be able to clear it energetically for you. So I would say that that's the first part of my definition. And mostly I would say it turns out that it's spiritual entrepreneurs, women who are spiritual. Their business is not necessarily spiritual, but they are spiritual. They're already up and running. They're they're on their way. And again, there's something that is preventing the business from just going to that next level.
That's probably where I fall in. So I'm very, very happy to be one of the people that will be in this webinar going. I am so excited about this.
Fantastic.
But that's perfect. Amanda?
I just ditto what Ame said, because it was interesting when I first started my business. I was dealing with a lot of clients healing codependency and really starting at the beginning with them. But over time, it has evolved into clients that already are successful at some level in their life. Maybe it's personally, relationships, business. But even that, they still feel like something's missing. They feel like they want to go to the next level. They're ready to elevate and evolve into their next level. And they don't necessarily know how to get there. They're willing to invest in themselves, to really go in and work with themselves. And they are willing to do the work. And it's not all women, but majority are women. And it's very much, we want clients that are committed to themselves and committed to whatever they're here to do. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. We have a lot of clients that are retired, and they're looking for their next piece. What do they do in the community? How do they help in the world? Mm-hmm. Or, they do have their business. And sometimes the business is just starting. We have one client right now that we're working with her to lay the very strong foundation, the energetic foundation, not the cracked foundation built on the 3D, but the strong foundation of how to collaborate within herself with divine, however that is for anybody. Everyone has their own way, but she wants to create a work that really helps to not only fulfill, that's meaningful and fulfilling for her, but also how it is for her clients. So that whole upliftment is a big piece. And we see it, people get on calls with us and we just see in the beginning and at the end, I'm like, we have to start taking that before and after picture because it's amazing. And they just feel so energized to move forward.
That's one of the wonderful gifts, I think, out of this shift to working over Zoom and stuff, because mm-hmm. you actually have like video of transforming people and you can see on their face that something has shifted. It's amazing work. All right, so I'm going to ask for your final thoughts from each of you. All right, so what do you see as your purpose and your destiny with this work? Ame, you want to start?
All right. So I mentioned earlier that I share purpose and destiny with my 20 Ascended Master Guides. And we are really here this lifetime to support any light worker who knows that they have their own purpose and destiny to fulfill. So we are really helping people get in touch with and fulfill their own purposes, because we believe that if everybody fulfilled their purpose this lifetime, there would be no more problems on the planet. That we would actually, each of us have got a piece of the puzzle to solve. And so it's not about comparing yourself with anyone else. It's not about saying other people have done this before me, what do I have to add? No, every single one of you is unique and we need you. And my role with the guides, and now with Amanda and her guides too, is to help you fulfill that purpose.
Beautiful. Thank you. Amanda?
And I would say, in addition to what Ame just shared, it is really getting the Diamond Co-Creative System out there. The Diamond Co-Creative System is one of the most fabulous tools And it's based on sacred geometry that really helps to realign you, reconnect you to who you truly are, and also what's in your highest order and fullest diamond potential, so that you go to that next level, whether it be health wise, well being, relationships, business, money. You go to the next level of what you really want to create. And, we talk about create and live into your more. And the Diamond Co-Creative System helps that. And that's what I'm here to do, is share that with as many people as possible throughout the country, throughout the globe.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. All right. So once again, I want to highlight this webinar series is coming up starting this Saturday. Please give me again, Beyond Trauma Lies Freedom. And we will have the link for people to sign up for it in the description of this video when it's distributed out. Also, you're offering a coupon code for them?
We are, just for your audience.
Nice. Thank you.
So,
tell us about it.
The webinar, we made it very affordable. It's a 2-part webinar series. It's only $147, and it's recorded. So if you miss part of it, and plus you can go back later on. But and it also will have a handout and so on. But the coupon code is SAVE, all caps, SAVE $20.
Nice.
And so they'll be able to save $20 with that coupon. So it will only be $127.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for your generosity to our viewers. And I am encouraging my viewers, go follow the link, sign up for it, come play with me. This is going to be amazing. Okay.
It's
awesome
fun
stuff. All right. Thank you so very much for joining me today, for sharing what you have that will help people navigate the chaos and confusion the pandemic is causing, what you're doing to help people recover from trauma. Bless you, ladies, very much. I am so very grateful to be in your orbit and able to support you. Thank you again. Have a great week, Facebook, and we'll see you real soon.
Thank you, Gail.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
When you open yourself up to actual energy work, makes that recovery progress so much faster. That recovery is possible. You do not have to live as a victim until your last days. You have unbelievable strength, and I know that because you're still here. Do you want to create something completely unrecognizable with your life? I can show you how.